What up, party people? We are at another pull day, and I have some news. I trimmed my beard a little bit, and I would like to grow it a little bit longer, and I would love to be full beard, but my genetics just don't allow me. This part of the face here doesn't have a single hair in it. So I trimmed a little bit of goatee I had, and gave it a little bit of shape, because as it grew longer, it just curled to the side and went everywhere. It was like a big mess. As far as the back muscles are concerned, I think that the combination between heavy movements, borderline ego lifting, and controlled, really contract the muscle type of movements are essential for building a nice back. I've noticed that when I do a training where it has a little bit of ego lifting, a little bit of swinging, of course in a controlled manner, while still like letting the negative just not pull you, but controlling the negative, it really did good to my back. And I've been receiving compliments from people saying that I have good developed back, so I'm guessing that it works. That's something we're gonna do today. We're gonna focus on a little bit of squeezing and slow movements, and then a little bit of those ego lifting movements. But I'm still gonna control the weight on the negatives. So you don't want to go completely ego lifting, but like you have to just push it a little bit further. So anyways, we are at the parking lot. You know what time it is. So we are starting off with a longer range of motion, and with this exercise I'm not really pulling too much far, because that way my lower back will take a little bit more than it should. So we are stretching deep, and from the deep stretch, just a vertical torso position, and then extend the arms and stretch them as much as possible. The problem is my long arms hit the bottom of the exercise every time. Now, just out of curiosity, I would like to see, like with a very low weight, how does this look like? At this point I could just go for the seated rows with chest support, because it makes no difference. And if I did it here, I may have a little bit longer range of motion, but it just feels weird to set it up, and I couldn't load it because the whole setup is really a bit strange, to say the least. We are doing a little bit of hyperextension because of my lower back problems. I want to strengthen that area a little bit up.
along with stretching as well. No, I don't believe in motivation. I believe in discipline. Being motivated means just that you are a little bit more in mood for a workout, or basically for anything, motivation for everything generally. But being constantly committed to doing the work, even though you don't feel like it, and that kind of feels like motivation to other people, but that's not motivation, that's just hard work. It has nothing to do with motivation. Whew. This felt like a warm-up set. Although I was planning to work with this weight, I don't feel like I have to, and I didn't want to push myself like further to just go to 15 or 20 reps. I'm just gonna warm up a little bit. So my working set felt a little bit lighter than usual. Could this be because of my new pre-workout? I don't know, but I felt so much stronger. And at the point, I think I moved the whole machine. I'm not sure if it was momentum or if I swinged a little bit more than I should. But yeah, the machine moved. Okay, that feels more like a working set. So at the end, I'm gonna do drop set. But although I was thinking of a drop set, I'm gonna go for a pull-up bar and just do as much as pull-ups as possible. That will be probably like 3. I don't move it anymore. Now for the pull-up bar. Let's see the magic number. Is it 3 or maybe even less? Yeah, it's 3. Now a little bit of form breakdown at the end. That just means you have to lower the weight a little bit because you're forcing the reps you can't do. I mean, it's good from time to time just to push yourself. But it's also good to think about your body and not to hurt yourself. So we're gonna drop the weight a little bit and try to go for 10. A little bit of mechanical drop set here, and since we didn't do much of a rear delts with our legs exercise, we can just go straight for this one. You don't have to rest, so that saves you a little bit of time. As far as the drop set goes, we go far away. We make at least 3 steps away, and then with each drop set we move 1 step forward. As far as the reps goes, you start with the highest and then lower the reps as you move the step forward. I just want to do more reps with more control rather than just pump up weight, because as far as I go a little bit higher with weight, my traps and my upper back takes over. So I'm trying to find that mind-muscle connection, so I'd rather do more reps in a good range rather than less reps. After this, we're gonna do a little bit of traps. Now you don't need much volume in the traps, just a little bit more to pump it all up. I'm done. So as far as the shrugs go, I think any kind of movement is good if you want to train them separately. I believe it's just the matter of squeezing the muscle as much as possible and just controlling that whole movement. And I don't think they need much work because you're working them during your back workout. So yeah, just squeeze as much as possible and control the movement with the traps rather than just, you know, like this, swinging around it. Like control the movement, retract the shoulder blades, and then that is it. Weight doesn't matter. Quality of a lift does. So that's the lesson I want to teach today. So many of us, as soon as we start lifting weights, we are like, oh, I can't wait to bench 100 kilos. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. Deadlift, all the big lifts and all that. And although it is good to sometimes just reach your PR for your confidence boost and for the whole ego feeding, but on a long run, good quality reps are gonna do much more for your muscle growth than the ego lifts you do with the poor form or ego lifts that gonna hurt you. Now, I've been doing my share of ego lifts for quite some time, and it's not really an issue of spine or something. It is just the nerves inside the whole musculature. But I fucked my back up with ego lifting. I've realized that much more can be accomplished with just lifting the weight appropriate to your size with a good form and a good stretch and a good fucking squeeze. That's gonna do you a lot more than any fucking ego lift in the world, period. Ask anyone, ask any experienced lifter, ask any scientist, anyone, he's gonna tell you the same. And I'm not reinventing the wheel here, I'm just saying. And if you wanna grow muscle and you're starting out right now, that is the best piece of advice you can get. Don't worry about the lifts. You are not the weightlifter, you are bodybuilder. Your task is to contract the muscle and stretch it as much as possible under heavy load. Heavy, controllable load, not just any heavy load. Any load that you can control and exhaust the muscle to a point where it just stops functioning normally, that's gonna do you good, and that's gonna do you much better than any of the ego lifts you do in the gym, and it's gonna improve your longevity. You're gonna be able to work out for as much as you like and probably for the rest of your life injury-free. Injuries do happen, and there is possibility of injury even with the lighter weight, even with perfect form. Sometimes something just doesn't add up and injuries happen. I mean, you're in the sport where you're prone to injury somehow. But if you be smart about it, you're gonna minimize the risk. And I'm saying this because I recently noticed with my rear delts that weight doesn't fucking matter if you're not hitting the muscle, because it's kind of a tricky to hit the muscle, at least for me. So you have to like position yourself well, you have to get the right amount of intensity, you have to stop the traps and upper back to just take control over the lift, and like all of these little things, and it's just
like a small muscle right here, and it's kind of hard to hit it. I tried loading it, and although it grew, I wasn't really satisfied with the way it was stimulated. And I never felt too much of a pump back there. And I recently started to implement more repetitions on that muscle. And just when I get to the point where I notice the traps taking over, the back taking over, I stop there and move it back. And also, I told about it in one of my older videos, what Mike Isertel said. Imagine like there's a big pile of cash in front of you, and you're like trying to get as much as possible in one move. And that is like the movement of the rear delt, which really like clicked inside my brain. And I was like, that is it. So you have to like stretch it forward, round the upper back a little bit, and then from there you can do the rear delt fly. And that part really opened my mind to the muscle, where I was like, okay, yeah, that is it. And as soon as I lowered the weight and started doing the exercise properly, boom, I felt it right away. And I think that these small muscles can really grow fast, and I'm gonna have much better rear delt in the future. But those are the things that we really have to be careful about. You are not a weightlifter, and you have to get that in your fucking head. I know it is impressive when you bench 200 kilos and all that. I know it is impressive when you squat double your weight or triple your weight or whatever. But again, you are not a weightlifter. Why do weightlifters have weight classes? Because they're supposed to be as small as possible and as powerful as possible for their frame. And that is their job. They are all built amazing, but they are not bodybuilders. They do not build body as their primary goal. That just comes with lifting heavy. But you as a bodybuilder, your job is to build the body. Your job is to exhaust that muscle. It is not to make it powerful. Now, power and strength comes with the lifts, but it's not your main goal. Where as opposed to weightlifters, it is their goal. So like those are two different sports. Now, if you want to go into weightlifting, that's okay. Go for that and train for that, but don't train then for hypertrophy, because it's not gonna give you much strength. I know I still have those ego moments where I wanna lift more weight. I wanna be like, you know, but all that matters is that you are healthy, that you are conditioned, and that you live a long and happy life without too much injuries. And I wish all that to all of you starting out, training for a longer time. I wish that you never have any injuries and that you can lift for as long as possible and be as healthy as possible in this very unhealthy environment. So that will be my message for today, and I will see you tomorrow on my pull day. Bye.